Alright, I'm going to take out the freezer. First thing we're going to want to do is disconnect all of our connections down here, because we have to remove this chain. Once you remove that chain, if the door opens too much, you can pull on all these power connections, which can cause some serious damage. So first things first, take the chain, you need to remove it. There's a little latch under here. You can't really see from that view, but there's a latch under here that it just attaches to. A little carabiner like that. Next thing, the freezer is plugged into this power supply, so you need to disconnect the 3-pin, your typical AC plug. So remove that, let that sit. And next, there's a thermostat comes out of the freezer. There's a 2-pin connection down here. You're going to want to disconnect that. So those are your 2 connections that come from the freezer down to the power supply. Next, so you can open up this door a little bit. Now you have the chain, but just be careful, you don't want to stretch these out. You got 4 connections on this distribution board back here. This machine's a little different. Yours will have 4. You want to make sure you just remove all of these. Remove that guy. And I believe you can move that guy. Those 2 connections are free. Now when you open the door, you don't risk tugging on any wires and breaking connections. So that's all your connections from down low that you need to get rid of. Next, we're going to move on to the brackets up top that hold the freezer in and prevent it from coming out. Covers your lid close switch. So you're going to need a 1/4-inch socket to get that off. Remove that. You just need to loosen this. You don't need to take these completely out. Those can stay. If you're really small, you're going to lose them. That's not a good thing. And you got that free. Set that off to the side, someplace you're not going to lose it. Also need to make sure you remove the connections of your switch. So just this little 3-pin Molex looking thing. Get all of them out. There you go. And that's us. Gonna let that dangle off to the side. It's not going to go anywhere. And next we're going to move our way down to this bracket that holds the freezer in place. So for that, you need a 1/4-inch socket. There's a 1/4-inch socket here. Now this needs to come completely out. So just be careful just not to lose any hardware that's holding it in place. One hardware. I got everything free. Use it as a cup, don't lose anything. So that side's all set. We're gonna move over to the T-handle bracket. So you got the same size, 1/4-inch on here. Same thing, this has to be completely removed in order to get it out. Now you got all your parts free. All right, now that we got all the brackets removed, we need to get the bolts out that are holding the freezer. So you should have 4 bolts securing the freezer in from the bottom moving up. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less, not more. Sometimes there's less. You could see 2 bolts in there, but regardless, there's 4 places for a bolt to go. So there's one found directly to the right of this power supply, pretty much parallel with it. And then there's another bolt found right in front of the power distribution panel over here that you need to take out as well. So it's right in front of this guy, right here on the top. For this, you're going to need your 1/2-inch socket. I'm going to find it. You pop that guy out. There should be 4 of these in here. So once you get both of them out from up front, you can then move into the back if you have access to do so. I guess I should just preface now, if you don't have access, the back right can be reached pretty easily just by reaching behind this power supply. You can find it way back here. I can feel it just from here, so you know this is where I'm feeling it. So I don't have to go too far in. As far as the back left, you do have to reach around this vacuum box in the bottom of the machine, and it's found off the back. So that's kind of a pain. But if you can't get access to the back of the machine, that's your best case to get that out of there. So this panel right here is going to give you access to the back bolts a lot more easy than if you're going from the front. You just want to move all your Phillips head screws on the panel itself. Make sure you don't lose them. Make sure you remove your power cord from the left-hand side. It's stuck there, so move that's going to pull it. And that panel comes free. Now, you can see the bolts that hold your freezer a lot better. There's none in this one in the back, so you can see right here. This is what I was talking about behind the vacuum box. That's this guy. It's actually right here, so you have to reach your arm all the way from on this side right here. And reach over to here right behind it to get to that bolt in the front. On this side there is a bolt, so you can see it right there, and as you can see you pretty much have a clear path moving from the front of the machine to get that if you have to, but opening the back machine really makes it a lot easier to do so. It's actually a good example too, because you should have a washer holding that's above the bolt, which actually helps. I'll show you that. The front one we did today didn't have that, so should have this washer here that goes into the bolt like that. So when you secure the bolt into the freezer, you have this stopping from going all the way through the hole. This acts like a pressure fit, so it stays in place better. But after you have all the bolts out, your freezer is free to be removed. So we'll show you that step next. All right, so first I'll push the arm, the robot all the way back. You're gonna have to open the lid. Next, open the lid, because you want to avoid hitting the switch over here. You're going to pull it out to a point, and then you should be able to force it to get in the way. You close it, and then you just kind of drag it right out of the machine. You want to make sure you pull your plugs that we got disconnected before. There you go. Your freezer is out.